Good afternoon. This is session 4 PowerPoint assignment, Life Reflection for Developmental Psychology, PowerPoint narration done by Chia Crooks. I interviewed a 77-year-old female who immigrated to America in 1970, secondary to marrying a U.S. service member. She is a naturalized U.S. citizen now. She became a U.S. citizen at the age of 41. Is financially secure, does not work, lives off of retirement and her husband's retirement and pension. Is extremely healthy, eats right, and participates in a lot of exercise. Leads a very active life, socially and physically. Goes to the gym daily, does yoga several times a week, takes time to go to lunch with friends and attend symphony, really enjoys traveling, has been on many trips and makes a trip back to Japan once a year. Major life events that have influenced her and created the person that she is. Subject was 2 years old when the atomic bomb was dropped. Although she was living in Tokyo and was really too young to remember World War II, she did grow up in post-war Japan. Talks about the American rations of food that she received as a child. Life events continued. So she met an American soldier in the Air Force in the late 1960s. They got married on the Air Force Base in Tokyo and then moved back to America in late 1960s when her husband was discharged. The first place she ended up moving, her introduction to America, was the Deep South. Subject worked very hard to become integrated into American society, kept the Japanese culture within the house, but embraced every aspect of life in America. That included cooking American meals, dressing in American clothing, learning to speak English, just participating in everything that was American. Once again, she did become a naturalized U.S. citizen. America doesn't recognize dual citizenship, although Japan does. She did renounce her Japanese citizenship when she became a citizen. In the Callie Kavanaugh book, Developmental Psychology, on page 509, it was discussed integrity versus despair. And this is reflecting back on life, whether or not you can reflect and say you led a good life, or you're full of despair, wishing you had changed things or could change things or had done things differently. I think most people, including this subject, reflects back with integrity. There is much to be proud of on her side. She did move to a foreign country and live there, still lives there. She did become a U.S. citizen, raised a successful family, which consists of one daughter and then now 3 grandchildren. And then she's developed her own support network within the community that she lives in. Other Japanese people, neighbors on the block where she lives. And then she's also branched out with many more friends, part of the gym that she goes to, and has done some significant traveling with her friends. One of the things discussed was how someone deals with loss and how it affects their psychology as they are growing up. She's had some loss, as everyone does in life. Her husband died unexpectedly in 2013, leaving her on her own. This was a hurdle since she kind of grew up as a subservient Japanese wife, and her husband was ex-military and took care of so much for her, including how to get car insurance, how to get life insurance, what to do when something breaks in the house, how to get cable TV. So all of those were things that she had to learn to deal with post her husband's death. Um, all her family lives in Japan. She has no family support here in the States aside from the aforementioned child and 3 grandchildren. Um, and her family unit in Japan has been dwindling as well. Of course, both her parents have passed away, and her siblings are slowly dying at this point, too. She has 3 brothers left and 1 sister that currently live in Japan. Religion for her. So when she moved to America and got married and had a kid, her husband is Catholic, and they agreed mutually to raise the child as Catholic and practice the Catholic faith in the U.S. She did attend church on occasion. Of course, um, created all those the Christian holidays such as Christmas and Easter. However, the subject is a Shinto Buddhist, does attend the Buddhist temple in Denver, and then does also participate in Shinto traditions within her own house. In summary, the life reflection of this subject is her strength and character have been shaped by her bicultural life. It obviously has been a huge part of the development of her own psychology. She's been blessed to be able to enjoy the freedoms of America while retaining the traditions of Japan. Subject does travel freely back to Japan once a year at least, sometimes twice a year, every year. And that is my PowerPoint. Thank you.